to call upon the other person from Ukraine, Dr. Mykola, who's going to talk about a very sort of debilitating disease of cattle called mastitis. So please go ahead, Dr. Mykola, if you're there.
I think he is not there.
She's not there.
I think because no Mikola is online. With no Mikola, no. Let me tell you that he's very senior person. He's traveling today.
Okay.
To Kyiv.
Okay.
So probably he's not in a connectivity zone, but he's a veterinary doctor and also PhD in veterinary sciences.
Oh my God!
Amazing. So doing even veterinary degree program is very long and tough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then he is a PhD also.
Amazing.
In the veterinary sciences, and he is a professor.
It would have been interesting to listen to him.
Yeah, and
especially because mastitis is a problem for dairy animals.
Yeah, he was dealing with some disease of the veterinary animals. Okay. Because today this session is including the livestock as well.
Right.
So therefore, it was very relevant.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can call the next one.
Could we call Dr. Valentyna then, who's going to talk about meat production? Dr. Valentyna, are you there?
She's online.
She's online?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, hello.
Hi, we can hear you. We can see you. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome.
I'm trying to show my presentation. Just a minute.
Sure.
Tell me, can you see my presentation?
Perfect. We can see it. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. I am from Ukraine. My name is Valentyna Borkovska. I'm associate professor in Department of Accounting, Taxation and Electronic Business Technologies of State Agrarian Engineering University in Podilia. Also, I'm a member and present public organization Institute of Socio-Economic and Regional Studies. And today I want to present to everyone my research in accounting and analysis of meat production, as if it's my sphere of scientific research in general. So as you can see,
can you please press presentation mode or just press F5 on your keyboard? Press F5.
F5. Yes, I pressed it. Is it okay?
No. Okay, on the bottom, you see the presentation mode. Just on the bottom, go to the bottom.
The slide.
No.
The slide. Can you see my slide?
Yeah, the bottom. Please go to the bottom, the last line in your presentation, the last sort of thing. Yeah,
here.
There, you'll see a screen icon.
Right side bottom.
Yeah.
And
no, below.
Go below.
Go below.
Go below.
Lower down.
Go down.
Go down.
Down. Go down. Just on the bottom.
At the edge, the bottom edge of the screen.
Where 106% is written. You see? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
No, Valentyna, you've got to go down to the bottom of your screen. Yeah. Can you
here? Just
icon,
here. Go to left.
Go to the left. Can you see that icon which shows a computer screen? Yeah,
yeah. Click this one. Click.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
we will
Thank you for helping me. Thank you.
Not at all, not at all.
we will charge this for teaching you here. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead.
So I can continue.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So I'd like to present you my research in accounting and analysis of meat production. As you can see, keywords: accounting, analysis, cost, volume of activity, performance, profitability, forecasting, economic decline, and meat production. So the main problem is that livestock is one of the leading historically traditional for Ukraine agricultural industries. Cattle farming, especially meat, has always played an important role in overcoming the food problem. However, the historical events of February 2014 significantly affected the economic situation in the country as a whole. Special losses were suffered by enterprises working on imported raw materials, the cost of which in the structural production cost average 80 and 90%. In the Khmelnytsky region, as in Ukraine in general, most meat processing companies work with intermediaries to purchase meat on the bones, in blocks, and so on. This is due to a critical reduction in agricultural producers, including cattle, which has significantly reduced livestock procurement. In addition, in recent years, the cost of incoming imported raw materials, for example, at the meat processing plant Kamenets-Podolsky poultry, has increased almost threefold. Due to the above, processing companies are increasing the need for operational accounting and cost analysis in order to effectively plan performance. We have a lot of unsolved questions, and first of all, today science studies the relationship between operational cost accounting and rational forecasting of results activities. Concluded the need improving accounting support in order to timely and effectively process management production at the enterprises.
Please move your screen. Please move your screen up or down. Your screen is not moving down.
Is not moving. Okay. We'll need all this data a little later when we will calculate the plant cost. So in connection with the above, the purpose of scientific research is to improve the organizational of internal management accounting cost in terms of developing and analyzing mechanism, the relationship between cost, volumes, and profit on the example of meat processing enterprises of Khmelnytsky region. So, summarizing the approaches of national and foreign science to determine the nature and purpose of the analysis of cost, volume, profit, we can say that this is a method of systematic research, the relationship between cost, volume of activity, and its results to determine sales that will provide reimbursement of expenses and receipt of the desired profit, the amount of profit for a certain amount of sales, the effect of change in magnitude cost, volume and sales price for the company's profit. Optimal cost structure. Cost, volume, profit analysis in carrying out using the following method combined into the two groups: mathematical methods and graphical method. Based on the use of this method, there is the classification of cost for variable and permanent. It means fixed cost. At the same time, the main factor in the cost of production of meat processing enterprises is the volume of sold products.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Valentyna. Your slides don't seem to be moving.
Okay, yeah. I'll try to move it.
Please.
Okay. Can you hear the next one?
Yes, we can see it. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Particularly relevant in the division of cost into conditionally variable and conditionally constant when using the marginal method of analysis, the cost-volume profit relationship for terms of the range, the essence of which is to determine the marginal revenue of the enterprise as the difference between income and variable cost production. From the analysis of the data developed by some authors, the reporting document number 5, you can see it. You can see right now the first page, it's here, the report number 5. We are talking about internal management accounting report. So of the meat processing enterprise table 1, we can see all the data, and table 2 in general. It is visible that on some assortment positions, the indicator of marginal income has negative value. This means that the price of the products is so low and unreasonable that it doesn't even cover technological cost. Taking into account the combination of sales of the reporting period, we propose to calculate the average marginal revenue by the next formula. You can see it here. Average marginal, you can see average marginal revenue per unit 1, combination of sales per unit 1, marginal revenue per unit 2, combination of sales per unit 2. So when we use this formula according to the previous table and according to the previous data from the sum enterprise, we can see that average marginal rate can be 0.2246. So calculating the average marginal income, we can determine the break-even point critical sales volume, which will cover cost of sausage production in physical units by the formula 2. You can see break-even point, permanent cost, average marginal cost, and in that case, we'll have the next result of the break-even point. So in that case, when we use this result of previous or break-even point, and when we use, for example, the combination of sales, this one, 0.42, we have the result of necessary profitable salt that can be sold sausages or meat in general. Taking into account the combination of sales for the previous reporting period, we propose to calculate the required amount of production for each assortment growth, which in general will cover the variable and fixed cost of this production. The same mechanism we can use for another kind of sausages and for another kind of meat. In this case, the cost calculation of the critical volume of sales are not required because the natural calculation was performed for each assortment group. Assortment group for blood and fried sausages are combined to use a small volume of production, the selling price of which varies depending on the type of the product. You can see it in previous data. For example, it's a calculation costing sheet on the formation of the actual cost of boiled smoked sausages, for example, Sofievska with cheese. So the determined break-even point in volume 2, you can see the next slide here. Can be recommended only theoretically. In practice, according to the capacity of the research enterprise, such quantity of production cannot be provided in full. The maximum volume of sausages production, according to this technical documentation, is up to 5 tons per day. Taking into account such individual features of production, the unprofitable sales of sausages are not explained by the limited capacity of the enterprise or a large amount of fixed cost, but mainly provided with high technological cost compared to the selling price. For example, analyzing the cost of boiled smoked sausages Sofievska, as we saw previously, according to the actual production volume of 753 kilo, fixing that the technological cost of the unit is 30 grivna. Actual cost plus other cost is 32 grivna. At the same time, the selling price, even without covering variable costs, is set at 25 grivna for kilo. In this case, the marginal revenue of the product will be negative, and the commercial price, which will provide a planned profit of 5%, must be at least 40 grivna for unit. On the other hand, price increases do not always guarantee the availability of effective demand of the population, which is now accelerated by the global economic crisis. In conclusion, it can be argued that the marginal cost analysis showed the inefficiency of production at the stage of analysis of technological cost comparing to the possible selling price. In this regard, we consider it appropriate for accountants and analysts, technologists, or managers of meat processing plants to use the marginal revenue indicator at the stage of planning the volume of activities. In conclusion, we can say that given the advantages and disadvantages of the method of analysis of the relationship between cost, volume of activity and profits, the most promising is the use of a group of mathematical method based on operational data of internal accounting of income and expenses, which include the method of equation, as we can see previously, in marginal method income. Along with these advantages, it is necessary to note the complexity, or more precisely, the organizational and technological feature of food processing of livestock products, which will affect the accuracy of the calculations. Mainly, it consists in the formation of a significant cost of work in progress at the end of the reporting period, which significantly affected the cost of current production in terms of variable cost, the size of which is the basis for effective analysis of activity and profits. Therefore, as I can say, the prospect of further research on the relationship between cost and volume of activity will be searching for possibly ways to improve the process of calculation the cost of meat production, taking into account the size of input and final balances of work in progress. Thank you for your attention, and sorry more for my English.
Not at all.
I was in time.
It was amazing that you kept to time, and especially such an important topic about meat production and accounting for it and the break-even points and all that. Very, very well done, Dr. Valentyna. Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Right. And in case anybody has any questions to ask, kindly put it on the chat, or better still, Dr. Valentyna's email is there. She's on Gmail. So you write her a Gmail and get an answer from her. Now,